voters, one thing has become very clear, that the governments in Haryana, Punjab and Delhi collectively have failed the citizens tonight. They have failed to crack down on crop burning, to help the farmers figure out an alternative, more efficient way of getting rid of the stubble. Completely failed there. They have failed to crack down on illegal constructions and industries. They have even failed to keep a check on the trucks that have been now banned from entering the capital or any kind of old diesel vehicles. So much so that there have been at least 5 reminders from the National Green Tribunal and various courts in the last 1 year. There has still not been any action. The National Green Tribunal is so upset with our state governments that today almost threatened them. You better act, get your act together, or we will cut the salaries of government officials who fail to crack down on crop burning. Or we will attach the state government's treasury and ensure that the work is done. How much more shaming do our netas really want? One wonders. What has become very clear is that we don't deserve these kind of netas. We deserve clean air. We deserve healthy lungs and hearts. And if our netas won't do anything to give us that, then we have to raise our voices and fight for it. And so we will fight for it tonight. What happened at the National Green Tribunal? Here is a report. Let's begin with that before we open it for a debate.
NGT is asking that why are all these pollution prevention schemes, why do they kick in only when the system goes beyond bearable levels? Why is it that the graded risk action plan that was created by the EPCA, why is it not implemented on a long-term basis? In fact, even in the odd-even system, why isn't the odd-even system something that is implemented long-term? Because just 5 days of restricting movements of cars is not going to help, which is what the NGT believes. The NGT has also observed that because the Delhi government has said that they will bring in school buses to augment the DTC fleet, which is what the plan is, that 500 buses will be brought in to augment the DTC fleet. All these buses are in fact diesel vehicles, which will in fact add to the pollution levels instead of actually helping reduce pollution. So the NGT is actually asking the governments of all states and all the civic agencies, what else are you doing apart from short-term knee-jerk reactions? Have you actually stopped the construction activities in the city which release cement dust and construction debris? Have you actually stopped diesel vehicles and overloading of trucks in the city? Have you actually stopped indiscriminate felling of trees? Have you actually stopped old diesel vehicles? All of these is data that the NGT has asked the civic agencies and the Delhi government and the governments of the other NCR states.
For those who don't know how this is going to work for the next half hour, we have 2 panelists who are going to present their arguments. Tonight, we have an AAP representative and a BJP representative. We will ask them 3 basic questions. Question number 1 is, what have you done? What steps have you taken to curb pollution in the last 3 years? Wherever these parties are in power, what steps have they taken? Question number 2 is, what steps have been taken to strengthen the transport system in the national capital? Why have no buses been added for the last 4 years? And question number 3 is, who will solve the problem of crop burning or the stubble burning across the states of northern India? Or are we going to continue to see a blame game and dirty politics where really low-level remarks are being made by ministers of various states? Those are the 3 questions. On this show, the viewer, the voter gets to have the last word. So pick up your phone and dial those numbers and we'll check you on the show. You can ask your neta the question that you have in mind. You can also tweet. You can also go on to Involve. Tell us what you think. If you don't agree with the argument that our guests are giving and with the explanation that they're giving, then you can participate in the poll. Agree, disagree. 2 options. Tell our panelists this evening, what do you think? Let's say good evening to our guest for this evening. Shikha Rai is joining us. She represents the BJP, and Richa Pandey, spokesperson for the Aam Aadmi Party. Let me begin with you, Shikha Rai. Wherever your party is in control, is in power, the centre in Haryana, MCD, what measures have you taken to curb crackdown on pollution in the last few years?
First of all, let me, through you, explain myself on this serious issue. It's a matter of concern, and very truly there should not be politics on this, because it is not for a party, it is not for some individuals, it concerns every individual in Delhi, and not only in Delhi, the rest of India also, but Delhi is definitely is in a serious position. So whatever Mayya's MCD, if I represent MCD right now, if I want to say on behalf of MCD, then all the measures that MCD can take, for example, the dust pollution, which is another source of pollution in Delhi, for that matter, we are trying to use mechanical sweeping machines rather than the brooming, which is regular traditional kind of sweeping. So I'm just giving you an example that this is the sort of a measure that MCD takes. Then for construction and all, wherever it is going on, we have not only just now, it is beforehand, even there is a penalty clause for that. If it is not covered, the dust during the construction, they are penalized, they are challaned, they are given served notices, and even to some extent
would you have any data of how many people have been penalized?
I may want just
how much fine have you collected? Yes, go on, finish your point, but if you can also shed some light on how much.
Yes, there is a number, there is a figure. Yes, there is a number. They are being penalized every day. But let me just put across a question too, because this is something which is definitely concerning the Delhi government, because in Delhi the largest pollution quotient is by the industry. This is an IIT report which says that the major largest
okay, yes,
cause
everybody
of
by now has gone through the IIT report. We've discussed this situation.
I would like to ask what measures have been taken by the
in
Delhi
national capital twice this week. They know what the report is. My question to you was very simple. What have you done? You've told me about the MCD. Do you want to tell me about Haryana and the centre? Because Haryana government doesn't seem to be doing a good job at cracking down on crop burning. And Punjab and Haryana and the state and Delhi all want centre to give funds. So what's happening on that stage? We only hear ministers saying, "तुम हमारी state का गेहूं खाते हो, तो तुम उनको compensate करो हमारे किसानों को."
See, whatever one has told, that is his or her own view, but definitely there has to be a comprehensive approach about it, because it's a every year phenomena that the crops are burnt and all. But Haryana from this year, I may tell you, has taken very serious measures, because we have been dealing with it for the last few days, and reports have been coming, and we have been asking, even as far as MCD is concerned, we are asking for the reports.
Last few days, that is the problem. Last few days, last 1 year, you were all supposed to sit across the table and sort this out. Zero progress has been made on those panel meetings that all states are supposed to have together. Zero progress.
But what about
you say that it is somebody's own view, you don't want to defend it, Ms. Rai, but the fact is Anil Vij is a senior minister in the Haryana government. If he is going to stoop to such level of politics,
about the transport,
Richa Pandey, the question goes to you. What have you done in the last 3 years to curb pollution?
Thank you, Tanvi. We have, I would like to share about the long-term initiatives which we have taken. First of all, we have increased the green cover of Delhi. We have planned around 11 lakh plus trees, and we are in the process of planting more trees with the help of DNHS in Delhi. Second is that we have been following the PUC norms very stringently every 3 months. Third is that as required, the thermal plant at Rajghat had been closed. Now I would like to come to the short-term measures which we we have taken during this season where the pollution was very high. We have started the water sprinkling. The diesel vehicle entry is banned.
Is it implemented?
Are banned.
Is it implemented? Can you give me data on how much of fine has been collected or how many trucks have been stopped from entering? Can you actually confidently tell me that the diesel or that the truck entry ban is getting implemented? We've got reactions from truck drivers who say, no, nobody asked us, nobody stopped us, here we are.
Yes. Unfortunately, Tanvi, there is a issue that we are not the enforcement body in Delhi.
Sure.
So most of the enforcement is done by MCD. Toll collections is done by MCD.
So effectively, then that step is of no use, isn't it?
Question also, I would like to answer that.
Yes, go ahead.
That is only collection. That is only collection.
I would like to answer the second question.
We do not have a
also.
mandate to stop any vehicle to come to Delhi.
So who stops the vehicles?
Like
okay, ladies, wait a minute. The AAP representative is telling me right now that implementation of the ban on entry of trucks in the national capital doesn't come under us. The BJP is saying we are only responsible for collecting the toll. So who is supposed to stop?
The collection and all is done by MCD.
Yes,
when
but who stops the trucks?
Fine collection, it is done by MCD.
Who stops the trucks?
Yes, collection is done.
Who stops the trucks?
Whosoever comes inside Delhi, collection is done. No. But we cannot stop them.
Richa Pandey, who stops the trucks? You've passed an order. Who's supposed to implement it?
Yeah, so implementation enforcement is done by police.
Okay.
That is
which of course is under the center.
That is well-known fact.
Okay, go ahead. Answer the second part of the question.
So should I answer your second question?
But Tanvi, through you, I am asking one question.
Yes. Shikara, let her finish your point. Let her finish her point. Shikara, I'll come back to you. Let Richa Pandey please finish her point.
What have you done about that?
Tanvi,
yes,
I always maintain this decorum and decency while answering. And I would request that the co-panelists also maintain that.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Mirror Now is a very nice channel, and I really like to come and talk here because we talk about issues here.
I know.
Okay,
I would like
to go ahead, Richa Pandey.
Person to please understand that I have not entered when you spoke. Please do not come in when I am speaking. Yeah, regarding the transport system, yes, we have the DTC buses are yet to come.
So that it is our part
having said
for
that,
this implementation, I had to because you are giving a wrong statement. That's why.
Can I? No. You can answer when I'm finished. I waited for you to finish, so have this much of decency, please. You are a very well-educated woman, it seems here. Yeah. So we have given subsidy to e-rickshaws. We have subsidized
it's not about education. Please
solar initiatives in Delhi. That is one initiative which we have done. And transport, very soon we are coming up with the buses. The tender is on the way. So these are the two.
How many buses have been added in the last 4 years? Ms. Pandey, how many buses have been added in the last 3 years? Zero buses have been added in the last 3 years.
Yeah,
in fact, the number of buses that are plying on the Delhi streets right now have come down. They have come down from 3 years ago. Half of them.
Do you think this whole pollution can be the... No, I want to ask you, Tanvi, that the pollution from Lahore to Pakistan to Nepal to Madhya Pradesh, this can be countered by introducing 1,000 buses. We are in the process, and I have very openly shared with you that we have allocated
the budget for it. And you are now pointing fingers towards Pakistan.
But here I want to bring a very small point in your notice.
You are pointing fingers towards Pakistan now for this, Ms. Richa Pandey. My question to you was, how many buses have been added? Zero.
No.
The announcement was made in the month of July 2017. Your ministers came out and said we will come up with 1,000 buses. You are saying that tender is still under process. So I fail to understand what is it that you have done to give a strong bus system for the people of Delhi who will have to, starting Monday, resort to that public transport system. How does making tickets and bus fares cheaper help when you don't have enough buses?
If we look at only... Can I answer? If you look at only during the odd-even duration, we are hiring buses from private contractors. DMRC is hiring buses from private contractors, and those buses we will be giving for the public of Delhi. All the DTC buses will be free of cost for everybody.
Just 500. Okay, just 500 buses
we are trying to deal with this
for regular use. Just 100 buses that DMRC, that also the small ones. You don't even have a fleet which is half the strength that is needed for the national capital.
If your whole half-an-hour debate is centered around how many buses Aam Aadmi Party government has
procured,
it is
of the three questions, it is question number 2. Of the 3 questions, it is question number 2.
And what other states are doing with the subsidy?
Of the 3 questions, the first question is about what all states are doing. The third question is about crop burning. But when you run out of answers to give and you don't have a legitimate explanation, Richa Pandey, then you are going to turn around and point fingers at us. The first question is what all state governments is doing. The third question is of what will we do about crop burning. The second question that we're discussing right now is about the public transport system. If you don't have an answer, don't turn around and point fingers at us. That's all that I am saying. I can just tell you.
You're not letting me speak. When
finish your point, please go ahead.
Okay, maybe we have not done, we are in the process of procuring buses that I have shared with you. Remaining things we have done. Whatever the EPCA, the graded action plan of the Supreme Court has told us, we have completed all those things. And also here I want to bring to your notice that there is a black cloud cover from Pakistan to Nepal till Madhya Pradesh. That is a very big issue. And when we talk about pollution, we should talk about that. When we talk about pollution, we should also talk about a very important thing, that central government has replied on an affidavit in Supreme Court of India that there is no evidence to prove that there is a correlation between air pollution and health. So this is very surprising. I think I was
Is that true, Ms. Shikha Rai? What do you want? Is that true, Ms. Shikha Rai? Does the center say that there is no relation between air pollution and health?
I just don't know which affidavit or which statement she's talking about. I just don't know if anybody can be so unreasonable about it.
So
Nobody would ever had. I don't know which this thing she's talking about. But let me. Why do we debate? Why do we debate only?
Of Bharatiya Janata Party, they have said that there is no evidence to prove that there is a correlation
but you don't agree with this now. You don't agree with this. Then you must be, if you don't agree with this, but on your own, you must be having some plan to verify
this.
For 2.5 years, did you ever, see 2 years back, you brought this parts of ordinary law, let me please.
30 seconds, please. Richa Pandey, allow me 30 seconds, please. This is a very serious piece of information that you brought.
Let me also speak.
Yes, Ms. Rai, I'm coming across to you. We will individually verify this. If it indeed is the case that there is such an affidavit that has been submitted in the court, then it's shocking. Because in February 2017, the Supreme Court slammed the center for not taking any decision to ban polluting fuels like furnace oil and petcoke in the NCR region. This warning came to the center in February 2017. The Delhi High Court pulled up the governments in Punjab in November 2016. For not cracking down on crop burning. This has gone on for far too long. Ms. Shikha Rai, what is your defense for now Haryana not doing it and centre also not failing to do its part for the past 1 year? Ms. Shikha Rai, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? That question was to you, to tell us that when the Supreme Court wrapped the center in February 2017 for not doing enough to crack down on polluting fuels, why wasn't anything done? When the High Court wrapped the state governments for not cracking down on crop burning, why wasn't anything done? Where is the data? How many people have you fined? What equipment have you brought in? Or are you still waiting for center to give you funds?
So this is not for the center to find, it's for the state governments. Center can only issue directions. It's for the state governments, and Haryana government has fined. Rather, this year the number of crop burnings have come down. It is not so that it is only in Haryana, and Haryana is not doing anything.
No.
But let me just now put across
Richa Pandey, please don't interrupt her now. You asked her to give you fair amount of time to make your point, Richa Pandey. Now you're not being fair. Richa Pandey, you're not being fair. It's Shikha Rai's turn. Let her respond, please. Let's not make this a yelling match. Yes. Shikha Rai, finish your point quickly. We've got 2 callers on the phone line next.
Now, I just don't know. It was raised as to uneducated people don't do this. I should not say.
Please take my point.
I mean, what is this? Let me also say something.
Go ahead. Quickly, please.
We are concerned about Delhi. We are not only to debate and argue. We are concerned about Delhi.
You are lying on national television.
At least.
You are lying on national television.
Of every
45
year
crore has been given to Haryana government. They have not been able to spend that. 49 crore has been given to Punjab government. They have not been able to spend that.
Everybody else is lying. Whatever you say is right.
And they are now asking more money from
it is
center.
your old...
No, these are facts. Ma'am, these are facts. You are not well prepared for today's debate because you don't even know why Ghazipur is always burning. Ghazipur landfill site is always burning. You are the head of the MCD in Delhi. You don't know that.
Can you... that is why I just started with this. Do you know which is the largest section which accrues for the pollution in Delhi? That is industry. Did you do anything on that for the last 2.5 years? You know what NGT had told the court today? The NGT court today, the government today, Delhi government? Just pulled the Delhi government for what?
Interesting. Okay.
On Monday.
Interesting. Thank you. One of you has at least acknowledged that the National Green Tribunal had things to say about pollution. Thank you, ladies. 30 seconds to me now, please, because you're only counter-questioning each other without giving our voter and viewer any answers. Shikha Rai, please. Here is what the National Green Tribunal said, because I don't want you to point fingers at each other. There were messages for everyone. No odd-even scheme until NGT is satisfied with the impact, because the National Green Tribunal believes that the implementation is arbitrary of the odd-even scheme. So tomorrow they are going to listen in to all that the Delhi government has to say and then decide whether this decision even makes sense or if it's ineffective and a farce. That's what the National Green Tribunal said. It also said that Punjab and Haryana have to crack down on crop burning, that they will fine government officials. Shikha Rai, NGT said, we will go ahead and cut your salaries of the concerned department even if one more case of crop burning comes, because we don't see you acting on ground. That is what was told to the lawyer who was representing the Haryana government. The lawyer who was representing the Punjab government was told by the National Green Tribunal, we will attach your treasury if you don't do your job properly. And they actually went on to say that we will do these things so that you learn how to implement our orders, a court's orders. That is the state of affairs. So neither of you really have the right tonight to quote NGT to each other. We've got 2 callers on the phone line patiently waiting by. Let's see if we can go across to them. Dr. Raj is on the phone line. Good evening, Dr. Raj. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm a great fan of Mirror channel. Thank you so much for putting such discussion on your channel. मैम मैं आप वालों से ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि इनको ये पता था कि ड्यूरिंग दिस टाइम फ्रॉम लास्ट 5 years दिस इज सेम थिंग इज हैपनिंग इन दिल्ली. व्हाई नॉट दे हैव टेकन दिस डिसीजन अबाउट द ऑड इवन 15 days earlier, so our children and we could have been saved. First thing. Second thing, ये इलेक्शन का टाइम नहीं है शायद, इसलिए बीजेपी और आप वाले ये दोनों तू मैं करते रहेंगे और हम लोगों को बर्बाद करते रहेंगे. You know about it, the center is having the BJP government. Haryana is also having the BJP government. Why not they have the communication among each other and save the Delhi people?
डॉक्टर राज, मैं आपको एक बात बता दूं, कोर्ट ने इन सारी गवर्नमेंट्स को बोला है, यूपी और राजस्थान की मिलाकर भी, कि आप लोग मिलिए और इस सोल्यूशन निकालिए इस प्रॉब्लम का. कोर्ट ने वापस उनको बुला के पूछा कि आप क्या मिले, क्या डिसाइड किया, एंड आवर सोर्सेज आर टेलिंग अस दैट देयर इज जीरो प्रोग्रेस दैट दी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स हैव मेड. दे ओनली बिकर विद ईच अदर. दे डोंट केयर वेदर यू चोक टू डेथ. दैट्स लिटरली व्हाट इट हैज कम डाउन टू टुडे. थैंक यू फॉर कॉलिंग डॉक्टर राज. आपके सवाल का जवाब जी Richa Pandey से लेंगे हम very quickly. Let's also go across to Aditya, who's calling us from Gurugram, I believe. Good evening, Aditya.
Good evening, Tanvi, and thanks. By the way, I'm from Ghaziabad too, like Raj. Just that I have two very simple and basic questions for both of them. One for Aam Aadmi Party representative, another one for the BJP. For the Aam Aadmi Party lady, ma'am, what have you guys done about adding buses? That is one. Secondly, just apart from CNG, there are other eco-friendly fuels like ethanol and electric buses. What is your plan to induct these kind of buses where you have ethanol buses, which are already running? I mean, Nagpur already has a pilot project where one of the manufacturers is running ethanol buses. So why don't you look towards that as an option? Just CNG, okay, that's going on, but most of us actually know that CNG emits benzene and toluene, which are carcinogens. So that is another thing. Third, what has the Delhi government done to stop the registration of private vehicles in Delhi? You see, there is a very high traffic density, especially for private cars in Delhi. What have you guys done to go ahead and stop registration? Why can't you go ahead and stop registration of private cars? And also for the people from Delhi NCR, why can't we go ahead and use public transport?
Okay.
Metro. Classic example when the fares were just recently enhanced.
Yes.
For the BJP spokesperson, you already have a government in Haryana and you already have a government at center. I would rather also say for the NGT, they come out with a lot of orders, but are these orders practical? When you talk about farmers, stopping farmers from stubble burning, do you specifically have any resolution for the farmers, or have you given any subsidies or any devices to them so that they, rather than burning the stubbles, they go ahead and recycle it or whatever? There are a lot of options. There are balers and other things.
Fair enough. Yes, Aditya. In fact, you know what? They haven't. In many cases, farmers are saying we don't have the right equipment, we don't have the money for other alternative ways of getting rid of this stubble. Now, that is what the governments are supposed to do. NGT, in fact, also asked the government today, have you given any incentives to these farmers? Because if you don't, they'll probably just take the easy, cheap way out. So, Shikha Rai, let's begin with you. I believe we're just fixing a technical problem with Richa Pandey, but hopefully she's heard all the questions of Aditya and the previous caller. Shikha Rai, first to you. You can respond and then we'll go across to Richa Pandey.
कुछ problem है क्या?
See, as far as whatever measures are being done now with the present guidelines and present norms and present penalties that they have imposed, in that, I think Haryana is the best example that they have challaned this time. Of course, these subsidies and these measures, they need to be given. More measures, more subsidies have to be, they need to be given. It's not that everything is done. I do not say that 100% measures are taken. Measures should be taken. It's a need of the day. But to say that nothing has been done, I do not agree to that. Whatever in the present circumstances and whatever
what is the solution? हल क्या है? आप कह रही हैं कि आप you are penalizing the farmers who are burning crops. What is the solution you are offering to these farmers? Ms. Rai, my question to you is, what is the solution you are offering to these farmers? What alternative have you given them to get rid of the stubble then?
See, there are solutions. It may be so that these solutions could not reach to everyone who's burning the farms. Okay. But it is not so that there are no solutions. There are solutions. There are some subsidies. There are some measures. But yes, of course, they may not be sufficient to reach to everyone.
Yes. Okay. All right. I do have one viewer who's actually saying involved that in Haryana nobody is being challaned. Please go and check what's really happening on ground. That's Rajesh Sinha that's commenting. We've also got viewers who are saying maybe it's time to file a class action suit against the state and the central governments. We elected you to power to give us solution, not give us excuses. Richa Pandey, there were specific questions for the Aam Aadmi Party as well. Would you like to respond now to our callers?
Hello.
Yes, Richa Pandey, can you hear us?
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, I believe that one of our callers wanted to know why didn't you implement odd even 15 days ago? Would that have made the situation better? They also wanted to know what you're doing about the state of buses. So please go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. So first of all, I thank Dr. Raj for the question, and I would like to share that odd even has been a plan of the graded response action plan, the GRAP, which has been created by Supreme Court. Now I would like to share that this body is being monitored by EPCA. They tell us, not only Delhi government, but the other governments which are in the neighboring states, and they also tell the respective other agencies. There are 17 agencies which are dealing air pollution. So they tell us when to do what, and odd even comes only when the particulate matter or the AQI air quality is more than, in a severe category, 300 plus, 400 plus. And right now,
for a period of 48 hours,
category, and
the question that you will have to respond
right now.
You're right. And the question that you will have to respond to tomorrow as well is this the first time that the air quality got so bad this season for 48 hours? Oh, did it happen earlier and you just didn't bring in audible then?
Air quality, yeah, Tanvi, it's a very valid question. Tanvi, very valid question. The air quality of Delhi was in very poor category throughout the year except for one day. Okay. So there are various reasons, but right now the air quality is in very severe condition and we had to do something about it. Odd even is a short-term measure.
Okay.
Then I would like to thank Mr. Aditya, and I would like to answer him also.
Yes.
That we are in the process of adding DTC buses. Having said that, we have given subsidy on e-rickshaws. For the first time in India, Delhi government has done subsidy to e-rickshaws. We have also given relief to people who buy electric cars. So we are promoting alternative mechanisms of running the vehicles in Delhi. So that is if I'm answering your question.
Okay.
Here I would also like to say again that central government has given 45 crores to Haryana government.
Yes. Okay, you made that point. I am completely running out of time here. In fact, I don't even have time to wrap up. But we did have one caller who patiently waited. If Sanjay is still on the phone line, Sanjay, I'm sorry we kept you waiting. 30 seconds to you because then I have to wrap up. Go ahead, please. We seem to have lost that line, but we always make an effort to give as much voice to our viewers and voters as we can, because this show is about reflecting their voice. Sonu Gupta on Involved says, Mr. Anil Vij can give 50 lakh check to Ram Rahim. Why can't the government then give subsidy to farmers to find alternative methods instead of bickering with each other? Aravind says Kejriwal is right in saying that crop burning is an economic problem. We elect government to solve problem, not give excuses. Ladies, there are series of comments that we've got and phone calls, and almost everybody is able to see through this entire facade of politics and blame game that all the parties are indulging in. People are falling ill. The number of patients who are turning up with breathing problems at hospitals is going up by the day. We're doing long-term damage, not just to the Aam Aadmi and their citizens, but your own families. Something has to wake up these political parties and your netas and the chief ministers to take a stand now and take action. Others may have moved on to more news, but we here at Mirror Now are not going to stop covering this and stop raising the questions. It's a matter of health of our voters and our citizens. And people will remember if you fail them on such a crucial issue. I thank Richa Pandey and Shikhar Rai for joining us this evening. Thank you.